Stare at the sun, we've arrived at New Londo, and whoa, this game has just turned so beautiful, amazing, but it's also the home of the biggest bullshit yet. Welcome back, boys and girls, to another Dark Souls journal where I document my whole journey, my first journey through a Dark Souls game, and specifically my journey through Dark Souls Remastered. And the trend continues. 1 week we're on a high, 1 week we're on a low. And for the most part this past week, I've been on a high, if it wasn't for the low that ended on the last stream. But I'm still hopeful. I'm not at the point where I'm like, oh, this game is so bullshit. Like, it's just, I knew I was out of patience and I was out of everything by the end of the stream, and I'm just like, you know what? We're going to do this part next time. So I'm not devoid of hope. Now, some good progress has been made. I think it really helped the fact that I didn't have a bunch of options to go. So last stream, I wandered this way, I wandered that way, and I died a lot. Now this time, I just knew I had to get to Sen's Fortress. So going into the stream, my only objective was we are climbing this fortress, we're getting through it, and we're going to kill everything on our way, no matter how many deaths it takes. And last time, I gave up because a mimic killed me, and I was like, I'm done with it. I have no patience. I had reached the threshold of bullshittery at that point. But this time I knew all about the mimics. Shout outs to some of you who have given me tricks on how to recognize a mimic. So when you come across a chest in Dark Souls, if the chain does this, it has loot. If the chain does this, it's going to hurt you. So now I know how to recognize mimic. Apparently you can also tell if you look closely if the thing is breathing. I'm just gonna look at the chain. So now we know how to deal with mimics. So first thing is, I lost my souls because I fell in a elevator shaft, which really sucked. So we hustled back, we got our souls. That was a pretty safe journey. I thought I was going to run into some more bullshit there, but for the most part, it was pretty smooth. And I got my souls back, and then we headed to Sen's Fortress. Now I went back to hit the mimic, and I had no idea how much life this mimic had. So the first thing I do is I smack it. And to me, mimics are just chests with teeth. But this thing has legs like for days. It's long and lanky and naked, and just it comes at you all like blah, 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 blah. It's disgusting. It looks like a putty from the Power Rangers. So I'm panicking, and like the opening hit I did on it did like maybe an eighth of its life. So I'm like, oh my god, now I gotta fight this thing in this like really tight area. I don't know what to do. So dodging, rolling, trying to fight it, and what happens? I fall in another elevator shaft. So I'm like, all right, my biggest enemy is now elevator shafts. So I go back at it, and through a few attempts and failures, I finally make it back through that part. We discover the elevator. I noticed the blood on the elevator. So I'm like, okay, we probably have to get off this elevator before it smashes me into the roof. And I was correct. There are spikes in the roof, but I didn't see the spikes until I got off the elevator, explored, didn't know where to go. And people was like, go back in the elevator, go up, you'll see what happens, sending me into the spikes. So trolley chat is troll. But for the most part, exploring the top of Sen's Fortress was a fairly smooth ride. Sure, I died here and there, but for the most part, it's avoid the big boulders, walk on the narrow bridges, and kill the snakes without them tossing you over or killing you. They don't hit that hard. It's really gravity is your biggest issue here, and the obstacles. So for the most part, oh, and the swinging axes. We got through it. And then I made it outside. Again, I feel so safe when I see the sky. If I can see this, is that why we say praise the sun? Because when I see the sky, I feel safe. So now we're outside. There's like beautiful like bridges, and I see a big ogre just like dropping balls in the fortress. And I was like, oh, what's he doing? We're gonna have to fight the big ogre, and we never did. But anyways, I'm walking around, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, everything goes on fire, and I'm just like, what is this? What is this bullshit? So much bullshit. And I'm not understanding. I'm like, is that ogre over there tossing balls at me when I'm not looking? I keep looking at him. He's just like dropping balls. I'm like, who's tossing these boulders? And after a while, it's when you look up in the other direction, you see at the top of a fortress, there's another giant ogre, and he's the one tossing some fireballs at you. So this part would have been super hard and frustrating if it wasn't for the one hero in chat, which I believe is Dragon Tamer, who guided me to a bonfire that I had missed. Praise Dragon Tamer, because that bonfire made made it so I didn't have to go through Sen's Fortress over and over again. And it's kind of hidden. You have to go off an edge while you're getting chased by the big boulder that's full of fire. So once we got that bonfire, I felt more comfortable to explore that area. We killed, I think, a Black Knight maybe, or there were some bulky dudes. Bulky dudes I'm cool with. You run around behind them and you axe them in the back. It's so nice and satisfying. So we go up because I'm like, all right, I got to go hit that big dude who's throwing boulders at me. So I'm going up. On my way up, I see across like an opening, an even bigger giant who's fully clad in armor. And I'm just like, are you freaking kidding me? This game just never stops. But at the same time, the bosses excite me. So I'm like, scary, but I'm coming for you. But first we continue going up the tower, and I come across the giant who was really not that hard. Like, yeah, he's stomping on you, but for the most part, he falls, leaving his beautiful behind open to a lovely Heijie invasion sensation. So we did some of that. We killed him, and then we found... What did I find? I found Iron Tarkus. So I summon him because I'm like, I see the big danger. If I was playing this without stream, I would summon this. Streamer's honor or whatever doesn't exist. I am not trying to prove anything to anyone with this game. I'm just trying to get to the credits. So come with me, Tarkus, and let's go see this Iron Golem. So we hustle over together, and we're both whacking away on the Iron Golem, and down does the Iron Golem go. And at this point, I was really expecting to fight a character named Sen at the top of Sen's Fortress. It seems to make sense. I don't know who Sen is, but then at this point, like the little gargoyles come and like they pull you up, and I'm like, oh, where are we going? Wait, did I die? Are we like, cutscenes in this game are so rare. I'm like, what's happening? And then they take me like to this angelic city called New Londo. And I was like, did I win? Did I beat the game? What's happening? Everything is so exciting. Like this... The depression is gone from the city. Everything is marble. Everything is smooth. Everything has hope. There's architecture. It's not just swamps and rocks and decaying stuff. It's beautiful. I literally just stood out there for a few minutes, like looking at the architect and at the game, not the game design, but the art design or whatever, because it was beautiful. And then I see this massive knight, and I look at him and I was like, oh, are these the things I'm gonna have to fight? And then he doesn't attack me. And if there's one thing I learned in Dark Souls now is if people don't attack you, don't attack them. That was my first mistake in Dark Souls. I attacked my first friend. No more. So now we're in a beautiful city. I'm like, welcome home. I am being welcomed by all these knights. Nobody's attacked me. It's fine. We find another bonfire. We find another fire lord or something, whatever they're called. I don't know. It was like a knight. She seemed pretty chill. And then off we go into our adventure for the city. Now this city was really fun to explore. So first up, we got a gargoyle like on a bridge path. Fine. The last time I fought a gargoyle was on the rooftop. There were two, and it was only hard because there were two. So I'm good with fighting one gargoyle. So down does the gargoyle go. Then I'm like, oh shit, where do I go? The bridge is cut off because of a tower that's spun, and I don't know where else to go. And then I see like this like really small ledge that looks like a roof piece that goes to like a monastery. I was like, is this really where the game wants me to go? Like it really seems like it's not an actual path. So I go there and like I jump/roll into like a balcony, which seems like I'm not supposed to be here. And I noticed the window is broken. So I'm like, oh, you can go here, but is this the main path or is this like a side path? Am I going to get something cool? So in this monastery, like I get like these ninjas, which I then learn are like painting guards. They're attacking me. They go down in like 2x swings, so no problem. And then we're in the rafters, and I see like a chandelier and something shiny on it. I'm like, oh, this is so cool. I get to like knock down the chandelier and probably unlock something cool because it feels like I'm not supposed to be here. So I'm like walking on the rafters, and I was like, oh, bunch of like, I know how to deal with this. 3D platforming has been my thing forever. I know how to walk these things. We got the armor for the poise, so I know I'm not going to get knocked back by the little ninjas throwing like little daggers at me. So I'm literally walking and they're like shooting daggers at me. I'm like, I don't care. I'm a poise boy. We got this. So I burn them, get through that part. Everybody's talking about an amazing chest. I don't know what they're talking about. Make it to the tower. So now we like activate a mechanism that connects the bridge to the other like main path. I'm like, oh, this is so great. There's so much progress being made. I go collect my prize where the chandelier falls. It's another spell. I can't use spells. We kill everything. And then I find Iron Tarkus's corpse and I get all of his gear. So I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool, but it's not my play style. But it's kind of cool that the character I summoned died here. It's all coming together. I'm like getting some of the lore. And also the lore, like it's all about going to the city and killing a lord, I think, and becoming a vessel. I think that's what I'm doing. So I'm like, it's actually like enticing me to keep exploring. Yeah, so everything connects. I go back out. Was there anything worth of note? There was a massive big painting, but I can't interact with it. One of the most frustrating things here is there's a bunch of things to interact with, but it keeps saying I don't have the device to interact with things, so I can't progress. So back we go. We're going to this massive like castle-looking thing, and big guards and stuff. Gotta learn how to fight them. Died a bunch of times, and then I found out that like you have to go like around the side, and then I meet these archers, which are like big dicks, because like they're not just shooting arrows at you, they're shooting like massive metal spikes, which poise bore or not, you get shot off the thing. So I learned that I have to book it, run past the arrows, and then smack, and then we hop into the castle. There we meet our jolly good companion, Solaire. And then this part is fun. This part is fun because there's a bunch of rooms. It's like a whole different game. I'm in like inside a castle. I'm like, what's behind this room? Oh, that thing looks evil. Let's not kill that. And there's a bunch of silver knights, I think that's what they're called, in this castle, which are like, just perfect for parrying. So like this whole section was so comfortable because like it was all about parrying everything. It was so my parrying skills came in again, and I'm just exploring this thing very comfortably. Mimics are here too. People are like, kill the mimics. They are only they drop good loot, and you can only kill them once, like they won't respawn. So I got comfortable killing the long-legged, so many legs. All the mimics, there's a lot of room to navigate. This was a really comfortable place. We went into like a basement. We found all of Havel's armor and weaponry, so now I can like swing a dragon tooth around, which I'm not going to because it's way too heavy. But poise boy up, we got more Havel on me. Use that. Explored everything, then made it to the epitome of bullshittery, which is Ornstein and Smo, probably Smo. Oh my god, does this fight suck. So you're fighting a little skinny quick guy who's all over you, and then you're fighting a big blob of an ogre who's also all over you. As if fighting one boss is not hard enough in this game. Now you have to manage two. And on top of that, there's the third boss, which is the frickin' camera. If you go into a corner or into a wall, the camera's like, nope, not gonna show you the fight. And then like you're trying to play things, and all of a sudden, bam, crotch ogre in the face. I have seen so much ogre crotch. It's the most frustrating thing. You're trying to roll, you're trying to fight this thing, and all you got is ogre crotch in the face. You want to roll? Ogre crotch. You want to swing? Ogre crotch. You want to live? Ogre crotch. And then you die. It's just ogre crotch everywhere. This was like the absolute most frustrating fight because I was trying to study and learn what was happening, and I was just getting tossed around. If it's not the big ogre swinging his sword at me, it's the other one just like zoop, just like coming out of nowhere and just zapping me. I was like, trying to figure out this fight. Just give me some breathing room. And then like you're trying to run, and then you're in the corner, and then bam, ogre crotch. So we dialed that back a bit. My this item I got when my Firelink keeper or fire shrine bonfire keeper died, that thing was glowing, so I pulled that out, and it let me invade for the first time the guy who murdered my fire keeper. I don't quite understand how all this connects or why that's important, but anyways, we got a revenge. We killed him, and we got the fire keeper's soul back. So now I suspect if I bring that back to the Firelink shrine, I get my bonfire back, which that will be sweet justice. But first, we have to figure out how to kill this Ornstein, and Smo. Smo? It's like dough. Smo, yes. Because this is a wall. On my own, I've gotten Ornstein down to like 1 HP. I was so close to killing him that when I respawned, because I died, of course, because overcrotch. And then I brought Solaire in because I'm like, this fight is ridiculous. If they get to have two, I get to have two on my team. So we brought in Solaire. That helped me kill Ornstein, which then unlocked phase 2, where Smo absorbs Ornstein's power and becomes an electrical ogre. And I panicked because I was like, how do I deal with this? And he jumped up and all this energy was coming to him. I was like, what do I do? Roll. And I ended up rolling under him, and I got squished by ogre. And then I'm like, I'm done. So the reason I believe I still have hope is because I saw the bullshit, and I'm like, I'm not dealing with the bullshit anymore. It's like midnight my time. I'm too tired for this bullshit. But now going into the next stream with a fresh perspective, I know I can kill Ornstein. It's going to take a few times. I'm going to die a few times. I know that, but I know I can kill him. Now I know about phase 2, and it's just a matter of learning how to dodge and attack, just like any other thing. So I'm confident that I will get Smo dead eventually. It's just a matter of time. I just have to practice it. So I expect I'm going to go into the next stream. It's probably going to take me an hour or two of banging my head against this, but they're going to die, and we're going to progress. And we're going to be that much closer to killing or to getting to the credits of this and fulfilling this Dark Souls pledge. So that's where I'm at this week. It's not as frustrating. There's a lot of bullshit. If anything, if we look at the past, next week I'm probably going to be depressed because it's always high, low, high, low. So next week's probably going to be a low. So I'm not really looking forward to seeing what additional bullshittery is behind this bullshit boss, because my counters say there's still like 15 bosses left. So I'm like, there's a lot of room for bullshit there. But hopefully there's no more ogre crotch after this, because I've had my fill of ogre crotch. It's just, I'm tired of dying because there's no ogre crotch in my face. So I'll see you on the next journal. Join me on the stream if you want to see the progress of the next Dark Souls stream, which is always on twitch.tv/HeyJ every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern time. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next journal. And until next time, keep it classy.